You're watching FIFA Predicts, predicting the big games in the football world via the medium of FIFA 20, computer versus computer. Today it's Man City versus West Ham, and with me to dissect the action is former professional footballer turned current pundit Ian Five Ankles.
Ian Five Ankles.
Ian, David Moyes is building something special at West Ham, isn't he?
If by special you mean taking them up to 15th in the Premier League table, then yes he is.
What's he doing differently at Taxpayers Park? Innovation is his middle name.
Yeah, well, one of the innovations is he's bought a mobile bubble machine. So now the Hammers get to enjoy bubbles at home and away.
That is a big difference.
He's also taken to shouting motivational speeches into the bubble machine so that when the bubbles burst out on the pitch, you get to hear his voice. You get to hear David Moyes saying things like, "Go for it."
Mark Noble and goalkeeper David Martin having a very passive-aggressive exchange of words there. What were they saying?
We think what was happening is that David Martin was ribbing Mark Noble about not getting into the England setup, and Mark Noble rose to the bait and replied with, "Well, why have you got two first names?" It wasn't a clever response, and he's not proud of it, but hopefully that's the end of the matter.
Man City took first blood. Kevin De Bruyne simply refusing to have his shot blocked. He kept plugging away until he scored. Scoring, it's like a fundamental human right for Kevin De Bruyne. If he doesn't score, he gets tetchy. Last time he didn't score, he rang up the UN to complain. That's how high he took it.
Yes, the UN were very polite, but they had to point out it's not really our department.
I mean, he was ringing the fisheries department. They wouldn't have a clue. Mad scrambles in the City box as West Ham press for an equaliser.
Mad scrambles is what my grandma used to call her version of scrambled eggs. It's really nice. She used to put tuna fish in it, chilli flakes and coloured pencils.
Marginal offside. Was it offside, Ian?
Noble has his back to goal, so I'm asking, can you score with your back? And the answer is yes, so therefore it's right, it was chalked off.
Well, we're seeing more and more parts of your body that Stockley Park deem you can score with. Sergio, he's got a 2-foot-long beard that's shaped into a point. He waxes that enough, he's going to score with it this day or the next. Are we going to see fewer beards in the Premier League as his beard gets caught offside more often?
I think so. I think it's the death knell for hairy players. I can see the transfer value of players like John Joe Shelvey rocketing as managers appreciate the need for perfectly spherical, smooth heads.
Interesting that whilst VAR was reviewing that decision, Mark Noble was practising getting a knighthood. Is that likely for him?
Well, he believes he's in line for an England call-up, so I would say, he probably thinks he's in line for knighthood as well.
Could he get a West Ham knighthood? That feels like something the club would do, maybe with a giant ceremonial hammer.
That is how they do it, but they do it with a rubber hammer, so no harm done.
Short of laying a table, lighting some candles and cooking up a feast, the fullback could not have made more of a meal of things out on the left. Lanzini picks his pocket and crosses for Anderson to nod home, Ian.
Can you pick the pocket of someone laying a table?
Yes, I do it every time I go to a restaurant. I pick the pocket of every waiter. I give everything back, it's just to prove a point.
And what is your point?
The point is, if you're going to put crosses in like that at West Ham, they're going to nod them home. David Moyes' very aerial game.
In restaurants?
Well, if David Moyes is playing a team in a restaurant, the added height on the tables, they're going to score even more headed goals. If anything, it's an advantage for them. Mark Noble did his Euro 2020 chances a whole world of good, scoring another goal. Then he runs away from his players saying, "Catch me if you can."
Yeah, he's a cheeky little scamp, but catch me if you can, they can, and they did.
West Ham coming towards them like a steamroller, Man City. They didn't look as if they were prepared for that.
They gave West Ham far too much space, yes. I think that's because in training, Pep is trying to toughen his defenders up by having them face off against the ground staff coming at them on the ride-on lawnmowers. All that means is they're scared of anything coming towards them and they scatter to the edges, which is why Noble had so much space.
Who else popping up for the equaliser than Sergio Aguero? He sets himself up here, Ian. Is that 2 stats, an assist and a goal for him?
Yeah, I don't see why he can't have both stats. I read a report the other day about a woman who gave birth to herself, so if she can have both of those stats, don't see why Aguero can't have both of his.
But West Ham, they took no prisoners, precisely because this isn't the penal system, this is a football match. How solid are West Ham under David Moyes, Ian?
They're as solid as Coldplay's B-sides.
Well, that's your opinion. Where do Man City go after this, Ian?
Leicester.
But metaphorically, where do they go after this, Ian?
I don't know what that means, so I'm going to stick with Leicester.
So there we have it, a resounding win for West Ham. Now, competition time, predict the score of the real game in the comments section below. Get it right and you'll win this prize. And congratulations to last time's winners. Your winners were these winners. See you next time on FIFA Predicts. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.